You're listening to The Sports Dream with your hosts, Ryan Thompson
and Joe Sapienza, as we're going to discuss the hottest topics in New York sports.
Hi, hello, and welcome. This is the first episode of The Sports Dream. I am one of your hosts, Ryan Thompson. Next to me, my co-host.
How we doing?
Joe Sapienza, right there. We're here. It's our first episode. We're talking New York sports, the active teams, and each week what we're going to do is the second part of our show. We will take a deep dive into a different team each week. Some teams will be split up into multiple parts. We're going to look at what we think the teams need to do, give our thoughts and opinions on where they can build upon over the next few years to achieve, what is it? The sports dream of winning a championship. It's the dream of every sports team out there, but we're in New Jersey. We're New York sports fans. We know a lot of people around here, New York sports fans, so we're going to stick with the local, and let's get right into it. Active. It is Thursday, October 10th. The Giants play the Patriots tonight, and it looks like it's not going to be a good game for the Giants.
Well, let me tell you this. I'm sitting here writing a paper, right? And I would much rather talk about New York sports. So this is great, right? So yes, the New England Patriots and the Giants are playing tonight on Thursday Night Football. We have the pleasure to listen to Joe Buck. We love good old Joe. It doesn't look good for the Giants.
No, because you were telling me before, Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram, and Sterling Shepard all out with injuries.
They're all not suiting up tonight. That's no bueno.
No, not at all. I do have to say, though, despite everything else, Daniel Jones over the last few weeks has impressed me. I can't lie about that. He has actually, proven a lot of people wrong, including myself, that he really does seem like he was worth that, number 6 overall pick, and he is going to be a legitimate NFL starting quarterback.
I love what he's done. I love what Daniel Jones has done. Daniel Jones has made the New York Giants irrelevant again, and it's pretty cool to see. They came back against Tampa Bay. I understand it was only Tampa Bay, right? But come on, you got to give credit and respect when it's due. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's still an NFL team, regardless of what you say. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is probably
they're
not the best.
Not the best.
But Daniel Jones, he still looked composed. He still looked poised in the pocket, and he wasn't afraid to make the big throws to the end zone.
Yeah.
To get down the field to score, and that's what you need in a quarterback.
Exactly. But
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how their season turns out. That is not the team we're talking about this week. We'll get to that later. Let's continue on. We got the Jets playing the Dallas Cowboys this week. They are expected to get Sam Darnold back, but at the same time,
doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, it's just the Jets at this point are a little too deep in the rebuilding process. I think Sam Darnold, once they do have a chance to build around him, will be okay eventually. It's just they need to build around him, which, the addition of Le'Veon Bell in the offseason has helped and will help going forward, but it's,
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this about the New York Jets. Right. The amount of issues they have, because listen, I could sit here seriously and give you a list of what's wrong with the Jets, but that's pointless because they are so dysfunctional. They are the laughingstock of the NFL.
I don't know about that.
They're pretty,
close.
They're pretty bad.
They're pretty close.
They are pretty bad. They haven't even scored a touchdown. And when they do score a touchdown,
I think they've scored 2.
2. I'm sorry, 2. And one of those touchdowns was week 1. All right? That was in September. The first week. All right?
Yeah.
They are abysmal. They are a joke to the NFL. I can't even get into the offensive line. Sam Darnold is going to get killed
Yeah, they did give up 10 sacks last week against the Eagles. That's not good.
It doesn't matter who you have under center
Yeah,
because the
if you can't-
protection isn't there.
If you can't protect them, then it doesn't mean anything.
Does
Yeah.
not mean shit. And you can't get down the field. You can't score. The defense is always on the field battling. I feel horrible for Jamal Adams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy plays his heart out, but there's nobody around him.
Yep.
And they didn't address it in the offseason. I mean, they tried to with the addition of C.J. Mosley.
But he's hurt.
He's hurt.
Yeah.
Quincy Enunwa on the offensive side of the ball is hurt. Chris Herndon, the tight end, Sam Darnold's tight end is hurt.
Yep.
There's only so much you can do, and it's the goddamn Jets.
Yep.
That's
It
all
is.
it is.
All right.
Next
well,
topic.
Yeah, next topic. Let's get into a little hockey. Rangers have started off 2-0 this season. They got a big game coming up Saturday against the Oilers. Two young centers, Mika Zibanejad and Connor McDavid, will be facing off. Mika Zibanejad for the Rangers has 8 points in the first 2 games of the season. 4 goals, 4 assists. He is picking up right where he left off last year. And I think it's only a matter of time. Maybe later this season, if not definitely next season, I think we see a C on his jersey.
I mean, yeah, we were just talking about that. I think he deserves it. You were telling me before, we started recording.
Yep.
The whole pressure of being a captain.
Yeah.
And living up to the role. I'll tell you what. The kid could play,
He can.
And he's special.
Adding Artemi Panarin, big free agent signing this year.
The line's ridiculous.
Pavel Buchnevich came into his own, scored 21 goals last year. That line has looked amazing so far this year. The power play with Panarin on that left side with that big sniper shot, Alex Ovechkin-esque type of player is what the Rangers had been looking for the last few years. They have it. Panarin has 2 goals his first 2 games.
No,
They got a lot of young talent.
The Rangers are most likely making the postseason this
yeah.
I think so.
A lot of people don't think so. I've seen a lot of experts talking about them probably not. Yeah, but the way they've looked these first 2 games, I think they're going to surprise a lot of people, and things are looking up for the New York Rangers right now.
They're young and rowdy, bro.
They're very young. They still got other talent in the minors right now that are, banging on the door to come up. So,
no, there's definitely a lot of hope this year for them, in all seriousness.
Absolutely.
I think they're going to have a good year.
So, sticking with hockey, we got the Islanders.
Oof.
You were saying play tomorrow night, Friday night against the Hurricanes. Hurricanes kind of picking up a little bit where they left off last season. They're 4-0 right now. Islanders, I think you said what, 1-2?
1-2.
1-2. Islanders are they're kind of in a limbo state right now. I don't really know.
They don't know what they're doing.
I don't necessarily know if they're rebuilding or what's going on.
You have guys there that could play.
Yeah.
You got the Casey Cizinkis.
Yeah.
You got Barzell. Bro, Barzell's a beast.
Yeah.
The kid's special.
They definitely have guys that can play, but then they have, right before the season started a couple weeks ago, I saw the whole situation with Josh Ho-Sang. Ho-Sang, they put him through waivers. Nobody claimed him. And then once he cleared waivers, he pretty much walked out on the organization.
But the deal is, I think, because last couple years, he hasn't been terrible. He's been a decent player off the bench. And I think he hasn't been able to come into his own because he doesn't get the playing time that he thinks he deserves. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And I think he's had issues with, with the coaches. And when you have that tension in the locker room,
yeah, that just
it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It's not a winning formula.
Yeah.
And I think it was. I mean, best of luck to Ho-Sang, but just part ways, move on.
Yeah. So I don't really know where he goes at this point. Because usually if you clear waivers, that pretty much means you're going down to the minors. I would think, right?
Yeah, because nobody picked him up.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted him.
But he obviously decided I don't want to do that. So. Yeah, I don't know what the future holds for him, or the Islanders for that matter. But we'll see how the season goes for them. But
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for
I'm also
Islanders
an Islander
fans.
fan.
Yeah. All right. Well, some other big time news for New York sports fans. The Yankees swept the Twins in the divisional series. They will move on.
I hate them.
To the American League Championship Series.
I hate them
The
so
only
much.
question as of right now, which will be answered later on tonight, who are the Yankees going to be playing? The Astros or the Rays?
All right, people, let me tell you this right now. If the Tampa Bay Rays win tonight, I am not watching a postseason game from here on out. And I am 100% serious. Because listen to me. Hypothetically, right, the Rays stun the Astros. They win.
Yeah.
All right, so setting it up, it's Tampa Bay and New York in the ALCS. How many games is it going to take realistically?
It's
5?
Best out of 7, maybe 5.
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe 5?
Maybe 5.
I can't do that. I can't. I hate. Listen, here's my thing with Yankee fans. You go for all you Mets fans out there listening to this podcast. Go to a Yankee fan and look them dead in the eye, because half the time they can't do this. This is what they do, right? You go up to them and you say, "Name 10 years that the Yankees have won a World Series," and you cannot name the most recent year, which was 2009. And I bet you, because I've done this before. And they can't do it. They can't. Bandwagoners.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about this. They can't do it. So it goes back to my original take. If the Yankees do end up playing Tampa Bay, it's going to be a joke. They're going to the World Series.
Yep.
And I promise you, regardless, whoever comes out of the NL,
Well, it's not the Dodgers.
it's not the Dodgers. That's why I wanted the Dodgers, because I felt the Dodgers could beat the Yankees.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the Nationals have the pitching, but it's the Nationals.
It's the Nationals.
It's the Nationals. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like that same stigma with the Mets. It's the Mets.
Yep.
You know?
Pretty much. Because this was the first postseason series win for the Nationals since they moved.
Since 1981.
Since they moved to Washington. Since before they were in Washington when they were in Montreal as the Expos. So, what does that say?
I'll tell you what. If the Tampa Bay Rays win this game tonight, the Yankees are winning the World Series. Staple it. And I hate to say it, but I'm not going to lie to you. Their offense is incredible.
Yeah, it's a juggernaut. Absolutely.
And it makes me sick saying this, but their offense is insane.
Yeah, because how are you going to get past Gregorius, Stanton, Judge,
I mean, it's just not.
Sanchez?
There's not an easy out in the lineup.
No, there's not. There isn't.
That's why it's so easy to root for them. And I understand. Listen, you have your diehard Yankee fans. I'm not knocking on all Yankee fans, but you have Yankee fans that'll instigate. And irritate and be annoying and throw 27 in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's the only number they know is 27.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
But yeah, we'll see who the Yankees are going to be playing. It's going to be the Astros or the Rays. But if I had to take a guess, the Astros have Garrett Cole on the mound tonight. The man struck out the world this season. I almost can't see any way the Rays win this game.
Garrett, for the love of God.
So
you can pitch a good game.
But you know
Please.
what? Here's the thing: if it is the Yankees and the Astros in the ALCS, that'll be
a great series.
That's going to be an explosive series. It's going to be a good series, and that'll be some good playoff baseball.
That'll be better than the World Series.
Probably, yeah, because you're looking at either the Cardinals or the Nationals, not really, juggernauts. So
those two teams, Washington and St. Louis, it's classic small ball baseball.
Yeah.
Pretty
much.
Obviously, you have guys like Juan Soto,
Paul Goldschmidt
for the Cardinals, but
for the most part,
it's what's the word? It's different compared to the American League side because so many guys for the Yankees and the Astros, they're difference makers. Man.
Yeah. Even Mighty Might Jose Altuve at 5'6".
Jose Altuve
he hits bombs.
George Springer.
Oh yeah, but like I said, we'll see if it is the Yankees and the Astros. Game 1 of that series will end up it's Saturday night, and if it does come down to that, it's going to be explosive. But
praying the Astros win.
Let's move on to our last topic for this week. We got the Nets and the Knicks. Preseason action has started. Let's do a quick little, what are the season outlooks for these teams? Obviously, the Nets had the big free agent signings, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Jordan. where do we think the Nets are going to fall? Because obviously I'm expecting them to make the playoffs as a Nets fan, despite the fact that Durant is most likely not going to play this season. Where do you think?
Let me tell you.
I'm thinking
Let me tell you. Ryan
top
Thompson.
side maybe 4, bottom probably 6.
Ryan Thompson, I'm gonna throw something at you, okay? Because Kevin Durant said a couple days ago or yesterday that it's not cool to play for the Knicks anymore.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, Stephen A. was pretty upset. If you guys want to check that out on
I'm
YouTube.
sure he was.
That was hilarious. Him and Max Kellerman were going at it. It was
Oh,
funny.
he always goes at Max Kellerman.
Oh yeah, it was great stuff. But that's besides the point. I think that Kevin Durant is completely correct in saying that it's not cool to play for the Knicks. Why would you want to play for a team that wins 10 games a year? You know, when you're say, you know, Kevin Durant signs with the Knicks, like hypothetically, like say he signed with New York over Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Who's Kevin Durant playing with? You understand what I'm saying? You know, like
Yeah.
who else is there to
As
to
of right
feed
now,
him the ball?
yeah.
What are we giving it to Spike Lee? You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
pathetic.
It's just
And
that
they're a joke too. The
they got-
Knicks, the Jets.
Knicks definitely got a long way to go. It's probably not going to be a good season. They do have R.J. Barrett. You know, he's a building block.
They got
But
building blocks.
They got
They
building
got
blocks.
building blocks.
They have him and what is it, Knox?
Kevin Knox.
Kevin Knox. So they got building blocks. But you know what it was? I think the Carmelo Anthony era with the Knicks really hurt them, honestly, because that
How
kind of
so?
because you knew Carmelo Anthony wasn't the guy who could lead a team to a championship. He couldn't do it in Denver. He was winning 50-plus games a year.
Well,
You
let me
know,
tell
we
you
saw
this.
what he did afterwards, and now look where they're at.
Let me listen. Carmelo Anthony in his prime with the Knicks, it was phenomenal in some aspects because he was the leader out on the court. All right, and I feel like
On
he
the court, though.
doesn't get the recognition that he does. Listen, I'm biased. All right, I am biased. I'm a Knicks fan. But when you look at that team that won 54 games in 2013, you had Carmelo Anthony, you had Tyson Chandler, you had Amari Stoudemire, right, as your big three.
Yep.
Right? You throw in Jason Kidd. Who else was on that team? You had Steve Novak off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Oh, J.R. Smith, too.
Yeah.
If Carmelo was going to go to a finals in any year that he played in the NBA, it would have been 2013,
Mm-hmm.
where they lost to Indiana in 6 games. And it's a shame the way it ended, because I don't know if you remember, but Roy Hibbert like stuffed the shit out of Melo, and it kind of like ended the Knicks season. Because after that block, it was like a 2-point game late in
Yeah.
the fourth quarter, and then that was it. But I think in terms of messing up the organization, because they had Porzingis too,
And they traded him.
you know, but
Yeah.
he wanted out. It
Yeah.
all goes up to the upper management.
Yeah.
Not so much with Melo and how it all ended, because Melo's not playing anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody
Yeah.
wants him for whatever reason. I think the guy can still ball, right? You're telling me 30 NBA teams, he's not better? What, is he not better than Derrick Rose? Derrick Rose is balling out on Detroit right now. He can't play with Derrick Rose. He can't. What, Joakim Noah, is he still playing?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? It's like guys like that have been hovering in the NBA
Yeah.
and getting, you know, like cups of coffee with teams. I think it's a little disrespectful.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but outlook not so good for the Knicks this year, but they do have those building blocks. We'll see where they go. Let's jump into our first Sports Dream segment
Oh, nice.
of this podcast. It is the New York Mets Part 1
Oh, the Mets.
because there's so much we can talk about, not only as Mets fans, but also just in general. There's a lot to unpack with the Mets right now. And we'll start right from the top. Mickey Callaway,
Get him out. Get him out.
he is out. He's not coming back next season. Who is going to be the replacement? From a lot of the reports I've seen, especially recently, it looks like it's coming down to either Joe Girardi or Carlos Beltran that are going to be getting sit-down interviews. Yeah,
I'm a nostalgic guy. Give me Joe Girardi. Give me Beltran as the bench coach. Give me David Wright as the hitting coach. I want Delgado at first base. I want LaDuca the third base coach. I want to go for it.
Oh,
wanna go
that is
for it.
great.
All right.
Oh, that'd be amazing. But
at least those guys would
Yeah.
mesh well together. you
yeah,
know
they
what I
would.
mean?
They probably would. Yeah.
It'd
that's
be
true.
fun.
But yeah, no, I do kind of like where you're going with that though.
With
Put-
Beltran as the hitting bench coach.
Yeah, put Girardi in as the manager because look, he's got the experience. He's been there before, and not to mention in New York. So he not only knows how to handle managerial duties,
Right.
like Beltran probably doesn't because he doesn't have the experience. As smart a guy as he is, there's still a learning curve there. So Girardi has the experience and has the experience dealing with the type of media that he's going to get in New York and the type of scrutiny he's going to get, especially with the type of talent the Mets have on their roster right now and where they could be as opposed to where they ended up at the end of this season. There's going to be a lot to deal with from the media. And I just think at this point right now, Girardi would be the better decision because he would be able to handle that better than Beltran, who, yes, has player experience, very smart guy, but doesn't have the manager experience. So, yeah, make him the bench coach, let him learn under Girardi for a few years, and then let him take over. Give Girardi a few years, see what he does, see how he builds the team, and, see where he can get them, how far he can take them. And then maybe, 3-4 years down the line, if you want to, make another change, then now that Beltran has that knowledge, has time to pick Girardi's brain and see how things work as a manager as opposed to a player, let him take over.
Did you think that they liked playing for Terry Collins?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Abso-friggin-lutely.
Absolutely they did. I love Terry Collins.
Everybody loved Terry Collins because think about it.
Like this sweet old guy,
But then if they lost a game that they should have won, if you ever watched his post-game interviews, oh my God, would he yell at those reporters for asking stupid questions, and he would go ballistic. But that's the passion of the game. That's the kind of passion you need that Callaway just never really seemed to show.
I hate Mickey Callaway. For all you people listening, Mickey Callaway can get hit by a bus for all I care, and I would cheer because I do not like him. He was horrible. He was horrible with the bullpen. He was horrible with bringing in defensive subs. He had Aaron Altair in center field over Juan Lagares, and that is horrible. Like late in games? No, I
Yeah.
want my Gold Glove center fielder out there. Get Aaron Altair, ship him to Mexico. Get him off my team. Get Paul Sewald off my team.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
Tyler Bachelor off my team. I'm sorry.
You know what? We're going to get to...
I'm sorry.
We'll-
We'll get to all
We're
that.
going to get into that. That's going to be probably next week. Most likely we're going to get into the pitchers. Today we're going to start it with, position players, see what they got, see what, see where we're headed. Or where the Mets are headed, where we think they can build. And the first question I'm going to start with is one of the biggest ones. Is Yoenis Cespedes going to be healthy? And if he is, what does that mean?
Well, let me ask you a question, right? Are we going to get the productivity? Productive. How do you say it?
Productivity?
Productivity. There it is. Productivity of the Yoenis Cespedes of 2015 and 2016. He led the team to the postseason in 2015. We know what he did.
Yeah.
2016 got them to the wild card game.
Yep.
Are we going to get that same player? What is it, 3 years later? 2016?
2016,
4
yeah.
years?
Yeah.
Because 2020?
Because, he spent 2 years oft injured playing half a season and then didn't play this year because of the heel surgeries.
Both
And
heels.
Both heels.
I don't buy that story, by the way. Just saying. I don't buy that for a minute.
And the fact that, sometime in like March or April, he fractured his ankle
I don't buy it.
working on his ranch.
Something embarrassing happened and they had to cover it up. But that's besides the point. Listen, you give me Yoenis Cespedes back, we're not going to get 35 homers, 110 ribbies. That's
You don't think
dumb.
so?
I don't think so. I want to. It's
Yeah.
not that I don't think he's capable of that because he's shown it obviously in his career. But 4 years later,
Yeah.
He's got 2 bum legs. What really can he do? And he's a big guy.
He's a big guy.
And I don't know if you saw a picture of him from spring training, but he got fat.
Well, that's what happens. He probably wasn't really walking and doing much, activity.
Put on weight. He put on weight.
I mean, that's something obviously you can fix once you're healthy. But, yeah, would he be the same player if he comes back healthy? If he does, what would that mean? Because you got a guy that came in this year, J.D. Davis.
J.D. Double Davis.
If Cespedes comes back, he's going to be playing left field. No question marks. Where does that leave J.D. Davis? A 300 hitter this season. You want his bat in the lineup, but where's he going to play?
Listen, you give me J.D. Davis, I want him at third base, right? Because he's got to be in the lineup.
That's what I think.
He's got to be in the lineup. So next year, if we're looking at it, we're going to have J.D. at third. Ahmed's going to be at short. Robbie Cano will start at second, and then when Cano needs days off, because he's going to get hurt. That's inevitable at this point in his career.
Jed Lowry or
Jeff McNeil. And then obviously you have Pete at first, Wilson Ramos behind the plate, and then in the outfield, Cespedes in left. You can either do Conforto or Nimmo in center. And then whichever one you don't put in center, you throw in right.
So what about McNeil? He's got to be an everyday starter.
Oh, Jeff McNeil too. So who's the odd man out? Nimmo then?
Nimmo? Because Lagares, we're pretty much figuring he's not going to be there next year. His contract is up.
Juany's done,
unfortunately, as good as his defense is, he does not produce enough at the plate.
Rest in peace, Juan Lagares.
So Jed Lowry, you don't think they're going to be able to move him. He's going to be on the team next year, hopefully healthy. But he'd be an option at third base too. So it's kind of like, what do? You're paying him, $10 million to be a bench player? I don't know about that.
I never liked that signing.
But I
didn't understand.
Yeah. At the time, I did, because he could play second, he could play third. He can.
But that was already when you had McNeil and Cano.
Yeah.
You didn't need somebody else, no? And then you had Denny Echeverria at the time, too.
Yeah.
Signed. So that infield was so crowded. And again, it all goes back to management.
Yeah.
And Brodie Van Wagenen, I understand, come get us. He went for it. And, it kind of blew up in his face. And then they picked it up.
They picked it up. They got building blocks. Pete Alonso is stapled at first base now. What does that mean for
what?
Blanking on his name. Dom Smith.
Dom Smith.
Does he stay or does he go?
No, Dom Smith's not going anywhere.
You don't think so?
You don't touch Dom.
No?
You don't touch my guy.
But that's the thing. If Pete Alonso is going to be playing first base,
you trade Dom? Trade him for a reliever?
What do you do? You don't. He can't play the outfield. He can't.
No.
They tried him in the outfield. He can't do it.
No, he can't.
He's horrible. He's horrible.
Listen.
So, he's going to be a bench player?
I wouldn't mind that.
He's a Gold Glove caliber type first baseman. You're going to have him, because you're not going to be platooning.
Listen, if he stays healthy all year, he hits over 20 home runs. I guarantee that. He had 10 at the All-Star break.
So use him as late game pinch hitter, and play him on off days. I mean, I don't know if he's really going to be up to that.
I think he loves New York.
You think so?
I think he loves the Mets, and that's something that I look for in these players. If they like playing for the Mets,
yeah,
they like being a Met. Obviously, we saw that in David Wright.
Mm-hmm.
We see it in Pete. We
Yeah.
see it in Jeff. We see it in Conforto. We see it in Nimmo.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, if you give this team a bullpen, look out. That's all. Listen, and I know that sounds stupid coming from a Mets fan, because we say that every year because we're always so stupid and delirious. But there's potential. Whether people like it or not, they finished in third place, 86 wins, 10 games over 500. The pitching's there. Give us a bullpen. Come on.
We're good, because that offense can score runs.
Oh,
we know
absolutely.
that. If everybody's clicking, that offense can score runs. It does really just come down to the pitching. And, I think that one of the biggest pieces is going to be Cespedes. Will he be there or not?
When is Cespedes? a bullpen. We're competing with the Braves next year. And think about it. You take away 10 saves that Edwin Diaz blew, right?
Yeah.
And you add it to our win column, that goes from
90
86 to 96.
To 96. And they're in the
When
playoffs.
they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I'm going to end you with that.
All right.
LGM.
LGM. Let's go, Mets. Well, that wraps it up for this week. We will see you again. Well, not see you. Hopefully everybody's listening. Check out our Facebook page for those who haven't yet. For those who are listening, let people know. At The Sports Dream on Facebook. We also have a website that is on the Facebook page. We'll try and get some other social media going. We're going to start promoting. We'd like to get some followers, get that fan base going.
Follow us.
Follow us, like I said, at The Sports Dream on Facebook. Like us. Message us with any feedback you guys want. Questions, comments, concerns, whatever. Help us make this show better. We want this thing to succeed. We'll be back next week with your update from the New York sports teams and the New York Mets Part 2, starting pitching and the bullpen.
Oh, boy.
This is Ryan Thompson and Joe Sapienza signing off for this week. See y'all later.